What's up guys, Mac here, and I'm going to show you how to change one of these Britax clips into the Graco 65 Contender. A lot of people don't like these hooks because they're kind of funky to get out of your car and like these quick release systems. So if you're like me, you might have had an old system and you're looking to make an upgrade. All you need are an old base, a new car seat, just a couple paper clips. That's it. Let's do it. Alright, well first thing you're going to want to do is get this belt out of the old base system. And you can see you can't really pull it out because you got this little clamp here. There might be a way to take that thing off, but it's kind of tricky to do without busting something, so don't bust it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to basically try and get this belt system out of this clip. And what I'm going to do here is first off I'm just going to push down on the release and pull this until just about I get to the point where, if I can get it out, that would be helpful. There we go. Just about where I can get this this fold seam right about where it's out to the edge. This is where it's kind of tricky. You just have to be careful. And what I'd recommend is actually leave yourself a little bit of a gap and then push it on through without pressing the release. That way you're going to see here, I'm going to get it inside. I'm going to get a little bit of an excess inside of this area. And you can see what I'm doing here. Perfect, there we go. So now this thing is released in here, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to push down on the gray release and pull out this same loop to the front. That one's a little bit easier to do. You can see it's kind of difficult. There we go. Now we'll pull that on through, and we've got the last part, and this by far is the easiest. Watch this. No fast forward here. Done. Now I got the clip off, and at this point, just pull that baby through. There we go. At this point, I am done with this base. See you later, base. Now we got ourselves a belt, we got a buckle, and we're gonna go take off the old buckle now next. Alright, next up we want to take this belt system that we're going to replace out of the car seat, and right now as you can see, if I were to pull on the other side, can't quite get it through because I got this issue of this crossbar. I think it's intended to keep it inside, but we want to get it outside, or rather we want to get the belt through this this apparatus. So we're going to use a little bit of ingenuity, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually clip on this bar with the clip, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the hook out facing this way, and I'm going to bend it in and hook up in an upward motion. And then, so that way I can push through, push around, and kind of basically use the bar to pivot. And now I can push this clip on through. Might have to pull up the bar a little bit for a little bit of gap, but now I've gotten this thing to pass on through, and just like that, I can pull that baby out. Easy as that. I don't need that anymore. You might be wondering, when do these paper clips come into play? Just you wait. Alright, now we're ready to take this final belt, and we're going to feed this thing right through the Graco car seat. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to leave the clip on the far side, and I'm going to feed this belt loop through this little hole where the belt is supposed to go. I'm going to reach in around the other side, just feed it through until I can grab it, and there we go. Now I'm ready to pull it on through. Alright, so now I got the belt loop through it. Now I just need to fix this clip on here. So that's what we're going to do next. This is the tricky part. Alright, so first things first, I got to remember how I put this thing back together. And what I'm going to do is I'm first going to put this, let's see here, I'm going to put this through the back. and feed it on in. This is not too bad. Feed this initial feed, getting in from the back towards the front. If you kind of wiggle it around there, you should eventually come out with it. There we go. So now I'm going to pull that on through, and this is where it gets tricky. The next step is to get this back in while I'm pushing down this release. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's not a ton of room in there. This is where the paper clips come into play. What I'm going to do here is I'm basically going to use this to pull through that little section. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my paper clip, and I'm going to thread it through my belt. And now it's really important. You can see there's a little bit of some excess in the where the loop ends and the width of the belt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of trim that off. We want to make this as close to the width of the belt as possible, and you'll see why. It's going to be easier to feed it on in through that hole. So now I've got kind of a system set up where I can feed these paper clips in pretty easily. I'm going to push down on the release, and I'm going to put in the belts, or rather the paper clips, which are attached to the belt, so that they come out the other side like this. Get it on through as far as I can, and then once I'm going to fight a little resistance here, what I'm going to do to make my pull-in power a little bit stronger is I'm going to twist these together like a twist tie. A couple times around. That's going to help me with the pull-in power. So now, push down the gray and give it a good old yank. Might take a couple tries. There we go. Oh yeah, got it. First try. That's what I'm talking about. Pull that on through. Now this I can't really use anymore because it's all twisted and banged up. That's why I need the second paper clip. Last step is to get this back through this gap and out through this very narrow slit. This is kind of a tricky one. So once again, we're going to need to employ the use of a paper clip. And I'm going to try and squeeze it on in through here until it comes out of this slit. So we're going to try this. This is going to be kind of tricky here. I got some bends. There we go. Oh, that's not too bad. Alright, get it through, pull it. Pull it out a little bit until I can't go any further. And I'm going to do my twist in action so I can get some pulling power. And here comes the big moment. Pull it on. Oh, that was pretty easy. Now we got ourselves a perfect release system in a Graco Contender 65. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Mac out.